What up, guys? Shady Cash here, bringing you another commentary, playing some Domination on Encore here for you. And man, I don't know what happened to me this game, right? I was incapable of having a standout game, at least, stand out for me on this map right here. I was having some good games, some decent games, winning some matches, losing some matches, but I just couldn't seem to get it down on this map, right? And, I don't know, maybe it was just me, because I took kind of a 4-day hiatus from Call of Duty. Was just working my ass off. I worked 24 and a half hours in a 30-hour period. And, I was eating it up, dude. Once you're on that overtime, you might as well just work as much as you can, right? But, so, after that hiatus, maybe it was like I had that fresh off the bench attitude going for me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it was that I spent all that time I was working setting up a shindig that looked eerily familiar, to this level right here. I mean, my job, what I do is I set up staging a lot like what you're seeing right here. And I also do an install of like audio, video, and data, so internet and different stuff like that. I do that for people, for different establishments and stuff like that. And, I just got done doing a job that, looked a lot like this, man. So, I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe it was just I got on my hustle this match, you know what I'm saying? I've always kind of been a hustler. Making money for me has always kind of been a hobby, something like I actually enjoyed doing even when I was like in grade school was, finding these little ways that I could make a couple bucks, you know what I'm saying? And, give you a couple examples. Like when I was in 5th grade, right? Collectible comic book cards, they were pretty popular, at least with a lot of people I knew. They'd collect them. And, I collected them myself. And we'd buy, the packs of them at the comic book shop and, different places that they sold them around town. And try to get, the whole set of them, whatever, and all the hologram cards, because those were the cool ones. And we'd, go for these specific cards that we, just for one reason or another didn't have, and be trying to trade different cards with different people to get them. And I just noticed that, like, man, none of these stores, they didn't sell or buy cards individually or anything like that. And I was like, man, I bet you can make some money if there was a place that would actually sell individual comic book cards to people, so that they could get the specific ones they wanted. Now, by this time, like I said, I collected these comic book cards. I had amassed quite the collection for myself, right? I had the whole set, and then I had some cards that I just had multiple times over. And I had a friend that was kind of in the same boat, we were good friends, and I was like, dude, we should, like, go around the neighborhood and put up some flyers and shit that we're going to have a comic book card sale at my house, you know what I'm saying? And this was right around the time that Street Fighter 2 had just come out for the Super Nintendo. And I was like, dude, we could set up my Street Fighter 2 and my Super NES in my room, kind of like an arcade, and we could charge people $0.25 a play and shit like that, and maybe we could make a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? And he was down with it, so, we spent the whole weekend. We were going to do the sale on a Monday. We spent the whole weekend making up flyers and shit like that, and we went around the neighborhood and put them in between people's screen door and front door, on their porch or whatever. And different houses that, we knew had kids that were kind of in our same age bracket or maybe also collected these cards, right? So Monday rolls around and we live on the same street, so we rode the bus together, but we got off at different stops. Well, I got off at his stop because he had to stop in and do his homework quick before he could come over, right? So we had set the sale up for 4 o'clock. At about 3:30, his mom comes up. We've been at his house for like 15 minutes. And his mom comes up and she's like, Seth, your mom's on the phone, right? I'm like, okay. I go to the phone. I'm like, hey, Mom, what's up? And she's like, could you explain to me why there's like 20 to 30 kids sitting out on my lawn? And I'm like, because I hadn't told her any of this. For one, we thought maybe a few people would show up, and I was just like, holy shit, And, not that that's what I said to my mom. I was just like, oh, wow, and explained to her the situation. I was like, we'll be right down there. Went down there, and that first day we were doing that, because we ended up doing it multiple times because it went really well. We made $600 for 2 fifth graders to split in one day. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I would love to be able to make money like that right now, because yeah, I just, been in this little rut for a few months, but I'm doing all right. I'm not saying, like, shit ain't going good for me. I'm just saying, comparatively speaking to how my life was 3 years ago. Anyway, whatever. So then, that was one hustle I had, grade school type shit. And then in 6th grade, we did something with skateboards, where there was a skate park we always went to. And the kids that would skate there, like the older kids, they'd skate these decks for a while, and once they had some chips in them and shit, they'd just donate them to the skate park, and the skate park would put them in this corner, and they'd sell them for $5 each. And me and this same buddy, we used to buy these $5 skateboards, and we'd take them back to his house, and we'd buy a little roll of, like, for one skateboard of grip tape that cost about $5. And then we would buy a can of spray paint, which cost, between $2 and $4. And then we'd buy, like, a little decal to put on the bottom of it after that. And then we used some old trucks that we didn't skate anymore. And then some cheap, like, Kmart type wheels that I want to say they were about $10. So we had about, a $25 investment probably in these skateboards. And we did this with, I want to say like 3 or 4 skateboards. And we'd rent them to neighborhood kids. And we'd charge them, I want to say it was $15 a week. And the whole summer we had all of them rented out. And it was basically just, going to these kids' houses once a week and grabbing our money. And, sometimes, we'd have to wait 2 weeks. They wouldn't, have it or whatever. But they always ended up paying us. It always ended up, going really good for that whole summer for just a little, way to make money. And then I remember the next year, 7th grade, I actually got these gummy dinosaurs outlawed from my junior high because, okay, they changed your mouths different colors, right? And I went to Mr. Bulky and I'd buy just this insane amount of them for like $4. And then I'd take them to school and I'd sell them for, get this, right? I mean, keep in mind, this is 7th graders. I'd sell them for 10 cents a piece or 7 for $1. Now, for some reason, people would want them bad enough that they would buy them 7 for $1. I don't know if it was just they didn't do the math in their head, didn't realize it was cheaper to get them for 10 cents a piece, because there was only like 1 or 2 people that would call me out on it and be like, dude, it's cheaper to get them for 10 cents a piece. But then I'd be like, oh man, the thing is that they're so popular that I feel bad selling so many of them to one person, because I want to be able to have enough for everybody that wants them. And on top of that, I found out that there was a few people that were buying them off of me and selling them for $0.25 a piece to kids, and I felt bad about it, so I kind of don't like to sell them in bulk anymore. And these kids would be like, oh, that makes sense, I'll take 7 of them for $1, then shit like that. It just, I don't know, cracks me up. But just a few different stories, man. And then, of course, that's grade school shit. But I think having a mentality like that contributed to me. By the time I was 20 years old, I owned a small business. I had 2 retail stores and was doing quite well for myself. Well, I would have never seen that happening, 3 years before that. But anyway, that's the commentary, guys. Thanks for listening. I don't know if I kind of went off there, on a whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But thanks for listening to the commentary. I hope you all have a good one. Take it easy. Peace. Oh, yeah. And I mentioned that those gummy dinosaurs had been outlawed from school. After, a week or 2 of me selling them, the school actually got on the intercom and said that they were no longer allowed in school because they thought they were, quote, promoting gang activity because they changed your mouth red or blue. Anyway, all right. Peace.